Welcome to Sip and Story, where every sip leads to a scare. Turn the lights down, get comfortable, and press play. Because tonight's story might just make you think twice before your next gym session. I'm a 23-year-old female. I've always been a night owl. There's just something about the quiet of 11 p.m. The world feels like it's on pause. Most people are winding down, but that's when I come alive. The gym became my second home during those hours. It was almost always empty, just me, the hum of the fluorescent lights, and the rhythmic clang of the weights. Peaceful, familiar, until one night, it didn't feel so peaceful anymore. It started with something small. I was doing my usual routine, shoulder press, squats, bench. But halfway through my set, I noticed someone new, a man I hadn't seen before. He stood by the free weights in the far corner of the gym, hoodie pulled up, face shadowed. At first I thought nothing of it, we would come and go. But then I caught him in the mirror. He wasn't lifting, not stretching, not even scrolling on his phone like everyone else does between sets. He was just standing there, staring right at me. I brushed it off, told myself maybe I was just zoning out. Maybe he was watching the TV on the wall behind me. I switched machines. He moved too. Not exactly following me, but always staying within range of the mirrors. I adjusted my headphones, tried to refocus, but my body knew something was off before my mind did. My skin prickled. My instincts whispered, "You're being watched." I moved to the treadmill, hoping to lose him in motion, focus on the run. But as the belt started up, I glanced to the side. He was closer now, and this time he was holding his phone, angled upward. At first I thought he was checking it, but he wasn't taping, wasn't scrolling, just holding it, pointed directly at me. I slowed down, looked again, still aimed at me, not subtle, not accidental. That's when my phone buzzed. It was a text from my friend Marcus. He worked the front desk. It read, "Yo, that guy in the hoodie, he's been recording you for like 10 minutes. You want me to call security?" I stopped the treadmill mid-run. My heart wasn't racing from the cardio anymore. It was pure adrenaline now. I looked up again, straight into the mirror. This time, I met his eyes directly, and he smirked. Not a nervous smile, not a whoops, you caught me grin. It was cold, like he wanted me to know. I didn't wait. I got off the treadmill and walked straight to the front desk. My voice was low but firm. I showed Marcus the text, pointed to the guy. The staff didn't waste time. Two of them started walking over to him, but before they could say a word, he bolted. He shoved open the emergency exit, alarms blaring, and disappeared into the night, gone, just like that. We pulled the security footage. It showed exactly what I saw, him lurking, phone up, watching. But something else caught my eye. It wasn't just me he had filmed. On earlier footage, he had been at the gym the night before, and the night before that. Always dressed the same, always lurking in the background. Different victims, different angles, same stare, same smirk. No one ever noticed. The staff sent the footage to the police, but without a clear face or license plate, there wasn't much they could do. No ID, no gym check-in, just a ghost in a hoodie. I didn't return for weeks. When I did, I only went during the daytime, when the gym was full, when the mirrors didn't feel like eyes. Even now, months later, I can't shake it. Sometimes I glance into the mirror mid-set and I feel the same tension rise in my chest, like I'm being watched, like someone is standing just out of frame. And the worst part? The gym upgraded their security system. They never caught him. But someone's been creating fake gym accounts on social media. They post random footage, slow motion clips of people working out, stretching, running, blurred faces, but familiar bodies. I'm pretty sure I'm in one of them. I've always taken pride in staying clean. Shower twice a day, hand sanitizer in the car, fresh clothes every workout. But one thing I never really thought about was gym equipment. I mean, I wiped down the bench after using it. Everybody does that, right? You're just being polite. I never thought about wiping it before using it. I figured the last person already handled that. That was my first mistake. It started like this. After a killer back and biceps day, I got home, took a shower and crashed. Nothing out of the ordinary, except for this small red bump on my forearm. Looked like a mosquito bite. It itched a little, but I didn't think twice. By the next morning, it was bigger. By the next day, it had spread. Red, scaly patches started forming, stretching up my forearm in a perfect circular pattern, like something was crawling outward beneath my skin. I thought maybe I brushed up against poison ivy on a hike, but I hadn't been outside, and then the burning started. I went to urgent care. The nurse took one look at my arm and went silent. She left the room. When the doctor came in, he barely touched my skin before pulling his hand away. "This isn't a normal rash," he said. Turns out I had a severe fungal infection. Not just your typical ringworm. This was deep and aggressive. He asked me where I'd been recently. I told him work, home, and the gym. He just nodded and said that's all I needed to hear. Apparently, warm, sweaty environments are breeding grounds for fungus, especially when people don't clean up after themselves. The likely culprit, the flat bench press. I had noticed it was already sweaty when I got there that day. I gave it a quick wipe with my towel, but I didn't use the disinfectant spray. I mean, who wants to be the guy holding up the bench? That was mistake number 2, because whoever was there before me, they left something behind. It had already started eating my skin. Over the next week, it got worse. The cream didn't work. The patches turned into sores. I couldn't even sleep from the itching. My skin felt like it was moving, like something was alive inside. Eventually, I was prescribed oral antifungals, but by then, I had developed a fever. I took a month off work. My body wasn't healing, and neither was my mind. Because during that time off, I started getting ads. My phone, my laptop, everywhere. Not for gym gear, but for medicated antifungal socks, topical skin infection ointments, even niche infection support forums. It felt like someone or something was watching me, feeding me content about what was happening to me. Finally, when I was strong enough, I went back to the gym. It felt like returning to the scene of a crime. The first thing I saw was the new sign on the bench press. "Please sanitize before use. Recent contamination reported." I froze. Someone else had got infected, maybe more than one. I looked around, then I saw it. A man in the stretching area, wearing long sleeves even though it was hot in there. He was rubbing his forearm, just like I had been weeks ago. He saw me watching and smiled, but not like someone being friendly, more like someone passing a curse to the next unlucky soul. What if it wasn't just bad luck? What if someone wanted to spread it? What if some people come to the gym not to get stronger, but to make other people sicker? Sanitize everything now. Every single thing. Because once you've had something under your skin, you never feel clean again. Thanks again for tuning in to Sip and Story, where every sip leads to a scare. If you got some creepy gym experience, a late night encounter, something that still keeps you up at night, send it in. Your story might be the next one I tell. Until next time, sip slow and sleep with one eye open.